Today, we're going to track the incredible ripple effects of just a single software update. I know, it sounds small, but we'll show you exactly how one company's pivot in AI strategy kicked off a new geopolitical race, triggered a massive shift in capital, and is now posing a direct challenge to the very idea of a human-run economy.
So where does this all begin? Well, it all starts with a fundamental pivot in AI strategy, led by a brand new model from the company that, started this whole generative AI race to begin with.
Okay, first we need to get our heads around a key term, Agentic AI. And no, this isn't just a smarter chatbot. This is an AI designed to act. It's an agent that can operate a computer, use software, and actually execute complex jobs completely on its own.
And the model leading this new charge, it's OpenAI's GPT-5.5, which dropped on April 23rd. You see, its core design isn't about having a conversation. It's explicitly optimized to be an autonomous software engineer and computer operator.
And its capabilities are, well, they're pretty striking. If you look at benchmarks like Terminal Bench, which tests how well an AI can operate a computer, GPT 5.5 isn't just a little bit better. It scores almost 83%. That puts it in a totally different league. This model is built to do things, not just talk about them.
What's really interesting is that OpenAI is already creating a two-tiered world. You've got a standard model for your everyday agentic workflows, and then there's a pro version at a 6 times price increase for high-stakes professional work, like legal analysis or scientific research. This really signals the end of everyone having access to the most powerful AI.
This technological leap almost immediately set off a global competition, and that was the first major ripple effect.
So get this, the very next day, a major competitor out of Beijing, DeepSeek, jumps onto the scene with a completely opposite strategy. While OpenAI is closing its models and making access tiered, DeepSeek went fully open source and global, a totally different playbook.
And let me be clear, this is no knockoff. DeepSeek-V4 is a massive model. We're talking 1.6 trillion parameters, and you can think of parameters as all the little dials and knobs that define the model's knowledge and skill. And what's really crucial here is that it's open source and it runs on Huawei's own chips, creating this powerful AI ecosystem that completely sidesteps any U.S. export controls.
This, as you can imagine, sparked immediate geopolitical blowback. The U.S. administration came out and accused Chinese firms of using American AI outputs to train their own systems. It's a process called distillation, basically escalating this tech race into a matter of national security.
Now, what's really fascinating is how this new global race is forcing this historic reshuffling of money and resources. I mean, the price of admission to this competition is just staggering.
To even stay in the game at the frontier of AI, the industry is now projected to spend up to $169 billion every single year. This is, without a doubt, one of the most capital-intensive arms races in corporate history. And that capital is already being put to work. We're seeing it happen in real time. You've got Tesla buying up AI hardware firms, Applied Digital signing a $7.5 billion deal for a single AI factory, and Meta dropping $1 billion on just one new data center.
So the big question is, where does all that money come from? Well, in the same breath that they're announcing these massive AI projects, companies like Meta and Microsoft are laying off thousands of employees. They're explicitly stating that human capital is being liquidated to finance the AI race. This massive investment, it isn't just for building better chatbots. The endgame here is way more ambitious. It's about fundamentally rewiring the modern corporation itself.
A brand new Gartner survey of CEOs really reveals the objective here. A full 80% of them are preparing for a shift away from what they call digital business and toward an autonomous business, one that's run primarily by AI agents with very little human oversight. And this shift is projected to happen incredibly fast. I mean, look at this. Today, over half of all companies limit their automation to just specific tasks. But by 2028, that number is expected to plummet to just 13%, with a quarter of all businesses operating largely without any human intervention at all. So, all of this builds to the final and maybe the most profound ripple effect. What does a society even look like when economic value is no longer tied to human labor?
This forces us to ask a question that honestly sounded like pure science fiction just a couple of years ago. What happens when a company can be wildly profitable, we're talking generating billions of dollars in revenue, without a single person on its payroll?
And this isn't some hypothetical. The sources are pointing to firms like Medvi, which is reportedly on track for $1.8 billion in sales this year, and its employee count, 0. It's what's being called an employee zero firm, run entirely by AI.
And here's why this matters to absolutely everyone. In the US, our main social safety nets, things like Social Security and Medicare, they're funded by a 15.3% payroll tax, a tax on jobs, a tax on human employees.
So the agentic pivot, which all started with a single software update, now leaves us with this unavoidable question. If the massively profitable employee zero company becomes the blueprint for the future, how do we possibly fund the economic systems we've all relied on for nearly a century?